It's Weird Java in the morning.
What's up?
It's time to wake the fuck up with some Weird Java in your motherfucking cup.
That's right. Just like
What's
the
up,
man
David?
said.
How you doing, man?
I'm great, man. Still alive.
That's good. That's good. Yesterday when you were talking in the group chat there, and talking about your newly found ailments, I was like, I honestly, I entered the conversation just to clear the notification real quick
Yeah.
because I was doing stuff, and then and then I think what fucking time was it last night? I don't know. It was like because we were out all day yesterday,
hmm
and then we had gotten home, and I was sitting on the couch, and I opened it, and I got your that you were coming home from the hospital. I was like, whoa, 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 wait a second, what the hell's happening here? So I'm glad you're okay, man. I really am.
Me too. Me too, man. I was thinking heart attack number 2. Rachel, what's up?
Right, right.
And
What's up, Rachel?
luckily, man, not a heart attack. Just felt like one. Uh, like I can feel it now. It kind of hurts a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not. And the reason, like, I was trying to figure this out. Like the first time, I didn't feel it. Why am I feeling this? What the hell? And so I'm a type 2 diabetic. And when I had the first one, my A1C was at 12, which is ridiculous. Okay. So it's like the highest you can get. My nerves or whatnot were numb,
Yep.
completely numb. That's why I didn't feel it. So
Yeah.
now my A1C has dropped. I just got the news Thursday or Friday. Then they told me it's at 7.8, which is good
Good,
for
good,
a
good.
diabetic. It's coming down, and now I can feel shit and I don't like the way it feels. So
Oh man, I mean, I'm glad that I didn't notice it at the same time. Like I'm glad I just went into the chat and removed the note just to remove the notification because I would have been a worried mess all day.
yeah, I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't see it, man. I just wanted to let. Actually, the reason I put it in there is to let you know, because the whole time I was thinking, should I go now or should I just wait till after the show?
Yeah,
Because
I would rather you go and I mean the show can wait. The show is your health is first. The show is second.
in my mind it don't work that way. It's like I got to be there for Kevin in the morning. And so I was thinking, remember the last time I did it while not knowing I had a heart attack? I was doing the show
Yeah,
and I was fine and I felt fine. But anyway, this time I felt like I better go, and I hope they don't hold me, because if they hold me, there's a problem. But the guy was saying, hey, your EKG looks great. We're just going to take an X-ray. We're going to take some blood work, and if the enzymes look fine and the X-ray looks fine, we're going to send you home. I said, that's fantastic.
good man.
Uh, but I can feel it right now. Like if I breathe in, every time I breathe in, it's letting me know I'm here, bitch. I'm gonna squeeze you and let you know you're still alive, but it's gonna hurt. So it's not too bad. It's like a 3, but and when I'm relaxed, it's less. But
Yeah,
when I get up and start walking around, it's like, how about this? Do you like it? It's delicious, right? And it's kind of, yeah, oh yeah, oh, yeah. But fuck it, you know, I've dealt with pain all my life. This is just a new one I gotta adjust to.
mm,
Let's do
yeah.
it. Let's do it.
So is your breathing labored when you're moving around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I sit down, because it was just like the first one, that whole week, I would sit down and be like,
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything. And then the very next week, I was back almost back to normal. And then the very next week, I was really back to normal. And this is kind of like that's why I went in because I thought, oh shit, this is probably a heart attack. I need to go
Yeah.
and rule it out if it's not. And so
Right.
got lucky, man. I was very pleased. Oh my god.
Good. 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 Oh man, that's scary stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, what's up, everybody? I hope you all are having a fantastical weekend. David, other than that, how's your week been, dude?
It was a good week, man. I got Angie was gone for most of the week, so she came back on Friday, yesterday, day before
Hmm.
yesterday. And I got it's so hilarious because I got results from a CT scan, I got results from an echocardiogram, and they were like, nothing's worse. It's great. And then I got like my blood test
Mm-hmm.
that my regular doctor did, and he was like, "Oh man, your liver's great, your kidneys are great, your everything is fantastic. You're at a 7.8 for your A1C."
Mm-hmm.
He said the one thing is like I think my cholesterol is at 78, and my cardiologist wants it more like 50.
Yep.
Which good luck with that shit, dude. Because goddamn, son, 50? What the fuck? I'm not superhuman. Come on. You know what I'm
What's
saying?
up, Joel?
Joe,
Dude, I've had a very interesting week. So,
talk to a brother.
Monday morning started off with my tire going flat on my Jeep.
What?
Yeah, so I'm driving down. I'm driving to work. It's fucking 2:45 ish in the morning. Because I have to be to work at 3 a.m. And there's this car in front of me, and they're going a little bit slow. And I mean, I got close to them, but I wasn't tailgating. You know what I mean? And they threw something out their window, and I thought it was a cigarette because it was bright kind of, and it like shined a little bit. Good morning, Riley.
Riley, what's up?
Um, so I ended up passing them because they were going too slow. They were going under the speed limit.
Yeah.
And they even slowed down fucking like significantly right before I passed them.
Were they
And I'm
fucking
like, what
with
the
you?
fuck is that? I don't know what the fuck they were doing, but
Yeah.
so I went around them, and then probably about 2 minutes later, my dashboard goes ding ding, and I look down, and my tire is going flat. It says you need to put air in your tire, and I was like, oh boy. I was like, oh, I'll just put air in it when I get to work, and then I was watching it, and it was kept continued dropping. It
Oh
was
shit.
dropping and dropping and dropping. By the time I got to work, it was like at 10 fucking psi,
What the fuck?
which for size 20 fucking tires, fucking 35s, um, that's a lot of air pressure to go down. And I fucking get out of my truck. I pull in to work. I get out of my truck, and I can hear the sound, and
God
I
damn.
fucking look, and I'm looking, and there's a fucking piece of metal in my fucking tire.
Oh shit.
Come to find out, it's razor blades, and there's like 5 fucking razor blades all through that one tire. So either number one, either the razor blades were already in the road, and the car in front of me fucking kicked them up, and that's the shiny thing that I saw, or they threw it out their window, threw the razor blades out their window, and fucking popped my tire.
Fuck. Did you get a license plate or anything like that?
No, like that's not something that I was thinking of. You know what I mean?
Dude, let me just say this. If that's what they did, because they slowed down, they're like trying to trap you there. What it sounds like to me.
I don't know.
If they were trying to take your Jeep, they would have been in for a fucking surprise.
Yeah, I had my gun. I have my gun on me all the time.
Gun my ass. You would have beat their butts down easily.
They had. I do remember them having Massachusetts plates.
No shit, dude.
Yeah, so they were out of state.
Dude, that sounds. I'm glad you're okay, bro. That sounds. That sounds dark as fuck.
Yeah.
Razor blades? I mean, it couldn't have been kicked up and then, I mean, because they're flat on the ground, they had to have thrown them out.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what my mind goes to, you
The
know.
cigarette you thought they threw out, right? But it wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was like shiny. It was like a
Fuck.
breath. There was. It looked like a little bit of. It looked like an ember of a cigarette, and I was just. I remember thinking, "Ew, gross cigarette."
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. So that same day, you know, so they were gonna. So my supervisor was like, "Well, just leave it over here next to the in between the garage doors, and when the mechanics come in, I'll have them put your spare on." And I go, "All right." So I continue on going to work, and I'm out driving, and then probably about an hour later, he calls me and he's like, "Hey, um, your spare tire is too small." And I was like, "Fuck, that's right." God
Oh
damn it.
shit.
Because my freaking tires are after they're not stock tires.
Yeah.
They're too big. So like the actual like size for gladiators are like 16 or 17
Mhm.
inch rims, and my rims are 20s with 35 tire.
Fuck.
So I was like, son of a bitch. And then it was gonna cost me about $1,000 to send like somebody out to replace one tire.
What the
So
fuck? A
yeah.
thousand bucks?
Yeah, because the tire itself, the especially that tire is like 200, the high end of 200 to $400
Motherfucker.
for one. And so I'm like, fuck, dude, because you get the service charge for them coming out,
Yeah.
and all that stuff, and then obviously the fucking price of the tire. So my boss, when I got back to work, my boss ended up putting like this patch in, and he's like, it gets me like 2,000 miles. I usually get 2,000 miles out of a patch, and I'm like, oh, all right. So he patches it up, then they air it up, and I drive home. I went straight to Walmart because they're not like the service department, the auto department of Walmart. They're not like amazing, so people don't constantly go there. So sometimes you can just walk in and be like, "Hey, I need this done," and they do it.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I went there and I was like, "Can you patch this tire real quick?" And they're like, "Yeah." So they bring it in, and the patch they said that all of the cuts in it were too big for them to patch.
Oh fuck.
And so what I had originally thought was two holes. There was three other fucking holes, and there was another spot with a razor blade in it. And I was like, "Fucking A, dude, there's so many." So the tire didn't make it. I barely made it home. Um, and it was probably, I think I had 5 psi in that tire by the time I got
Jesus.
home. So the patches weren't working that great either, the ones that my boss put in. And I'm fucking so I had to buy tires. Like, so tire places, unless it's commercial, aren't going to keep that size tire because they're so expensive in stock. So they have to like special order them. So I just ordered them myself. I got all terrain because the ones that I had were mud tires. Mud tires are expensive. They're the ones that are expensive. But I found online all terrain, the size that I need, all terrain for 130 something a tire, or 100. It might have been, I don't know, but the ultimate cost with the shipping and handling and stuff amounted to almost $800 for 4 tires. So not bad, not
Yeah.
bad. And then it cost me. So they got shipped. They arrived Friday afternoon. I got out of work at a fairly decent time, and I started calling around tire places. I called Walmart first because, number one, they're cheaper anyway, and like I said, sometimes I can just get right in as a walk-in. But they didn't have time, so then I called another tire place. They didn't have time, and then I called the third place, and they were like, "Yeah, come in an hour." I'm like, "Okay." So I did that, and so I was able to get my tires on Friday. So
Good, good, good.
the Jeep is back up and running. But I do have a funny story that also happened on Monday, the same day that my tire popped.
Dude, you're in a case of the Mondays. Holy
yeah,
shit.
yeah. So listen to this. It's 6:30 in the morning. The sun had just come up. I'm in the fucking downtown Portland, Maine, and fucking so I'm coming up over this hill and in the heart of Portland, and I see this woman, not anything spectacular. In fact, she looked a little dirty and disheveled a little bit, but like not 100% like, oh, this woman's homeless or anything, but maybe close, you know. And I'm coming up. I notice her, and she kind of like, it's almost like she heard the engine of my truck and was just like, huh. She like perked up, and she turned around and stared right at me and started waving. And I was like, what the fuck? So I just like acted like I didn't see her. I didn't acknowledge her. And I was just like, what a fucking weirdo. And then I continued driving. I got maybe like this place where I had to go for the dumpster was just right after I saw her.
Mm-hmm.
So I turned in there, I dumped the dumpster, and I'm pulling out, and I come to the end of the parking lot, and I have to go across the street to the gas station to get that dumpster. And I see her, and she's like diagonally away from me, and I have to go diagonally to the gas station, and she starts waving. And I looked at her, and I just like, I mean, we had made eye contact, so I was like, I'll just wave to her. So I waved. And then she goes, hey, and she fucking runs across the street diagonally, like in front of me. She didn't like run. She just like fast walked, but she made sure to fucking make sure that I couldn't get out of the parking lot the way, because she walked diagonally across, and she came up to my window, and I'm like, oh my God. So I rolled down my window, and I was like, what the fuck does this bitch want? And she goes, hey, do you want your cock sucked?
Oh,
I was like, what? And she goes, do you want me to suck your dick? And I go, no. She goes, $40. And I was like, I'm all set. I can get it for free at home. And she goes, you sure? And I go, I'm very sure. She goes, okay. And then turns around and walked away. I was like, holy fuck. I was like, I thought this shit only happened in movies.
That's fucking hilarious, bro. That's fucking hilarious. What the fuck?
And she smiled, and she was missing half of her teeth. And I was like, she's looking for drug money.
That helps with the suction, I believe.
Oh, shit.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah, but yeah, so the week was pretty fucking interesting. But yeah, we got and then we got Allie's Jeep back yesterday, so that was cool. Took Allie and Kendall out yesterday as well to get their nose pierced. They both got their nose pierced.
Whoa.
Yesterday. So Kendall wanted her nose pierced for her birthday, and I was like, I can just fucking come and get it. I can just take you to go get it right now. We don't have to wait for 2 weeks for your birthday. Yes, straight gumming it.
Well, something happened on Thursday that I was very excited about, bro.
What happened?
I reached or breached 150,000 followers.
Nice, man.
Down the rabbit hole. Yeah, it's
nice.
a big deal. It was a goal I had set a long time ago. Just a year ago, was that 30 or something like that, 30,000. Now I'm hitting 150, bro. 150. I am shocked and very pleased, And I thought, I guess because right after that, you know, it's almost at 152 now. But I was thinking, is that when I'm gonna die? I'm just gonna hit 150 and that's it. That's my game. I'm done. I like that. But dude, I got and you might hate this, but I got followed by some actor. I can't remember. It's Williams, something Williams.
Okay.
I've seen him in stuff before, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then Rosie O'Donnell followed me yesterday, bro. Rosie O'Donnell, bro.
Nice.
What? I was surprised by that. And then
is it actually her though?
Yeah, I verified it. Yeah, she's verified or whatever. I was like, holy shit, dude.
Really?
And then Angie's like, looking at stuff on Instagram, and she goes, "Oh my God, do you know Brad Garrett?" I said, "Yeah." Is he the guy from the brother on Everyone Loves Raymond, the tall guy?
Yeah.
She goes, "Yeah, that guy. You have 40,000 more followers than him." I was like, great. I guess that's good. I don't know. All right.
Oh, we're in the presence of a famous person.
Yeah, yeah. I'm here for
Um,
some more. Oh yeah.
that's interesting. Also, Braden went for his driver's test this week as well.
Oh, how'd it go?
He failed.
Oh,
He passed the knowledge part, but the actual driving test he failed
shit.
because he wasn't looking in his mirrors enough or at the right times or something. And I'm like, I understand that, but at the same time, I feel like you could just be like, hey, you passed, but make sure when you're on the road for real to be checking your mirrors. You
Yeah,
know,
that sounds like a little.
yeah, that's a nitpicky. That's like, we want some more money, so we're gonna make you test again.
That's bullshit.
That's what it sounds like to me.
By
But
the way, did you see Rachel's ad for Weird Java
this
this
morning,
morning?
yes, yeah,
That
I
was
just
pretty
saw it.
badass.
It was badass. I
I
like it.
loved
I
it.
likes it a lot.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I also have a new sponsor for the show.
Talk to a brother.
It's called Wild Beauty. It's so he's a becoming a quick friend of mine, Johnny Nitro, John Knight.
Cool name.
He's out of, I think, is either Michigan or Missouri, one or the other. I think it's Michigan. He's a hunter and he makes a lot of like he started making moisturizers and beauty products out of uh tallow, the deer tallow and stuff like that. So it's all natural and stuff like and all that. And I believe Thick Thighs and Creepy Vibes just made a video for their products as well.
Thick
So
thighs. They're great. Mandy.
they are great. I
Yeah, I
love
love
them.
them. I love them.
I love them. Yeah. So but anywho, I do have some this day in history for you, my friend.
Yeah, yay. Shout out to
All
Jill
right.
for purchasing a hoodie for me. Thank you so much. Jill Leonard, you're awesome.
Yeah, she is great. I was just talking to her yesterday, actually. All right. So in 402, the Battle of Polynesia, the Roman army under Stilicho defeats the Visigoths under Alaric I, forcing Alaric to retreat from Italy.
God damn. Visigoths. I love that. That's a good name. They lost though. Unfortunate.
The Visigoths,
402.
yeah. So yeah, so Johnny is in Michigan. I actually just sent him a new box of hot sauce too.
Nice. A box.
And
All
with
5?
the 4 regulars, the 4 officials.
Yeah, yeah.
I still haven't freaking put Murder Juice on the website, which I'm fucking slacking in that department, dog. All right. In 1302, Scottish nobles reaffirm their independence by signing a declaration of Arbroath addressed to Pope the 22nd. Yeah. Yeah, dog.
What year was that again?
1302.
1302. Damn, son.
A long ass time
ages.
ago.
Yeah.
Oh.
There were already 22 popes at that time. That's crazy.
Yeah, dog. Yeah, dog. 1652, Cape Colony, the first European settlement in South Africa, is established by the Dutch East India Company under Jan van Riebeek. Or Riebeek. One or the other, however you say it. It could be said completely different with rolls of tongues and stuff like that. I have no idea.
Right. You're right.
In 1772, Empress Catherine the Great of Russia ends the tax on men with beards that was enacted in 1698.
That's some
So
fucked up taxes.
in 1698, the then emperor of Russia put a tax bill out on men having beards. So if you had a beard, you were taxed.
That's craziness.
And so Catherine was probably like, I like men with beards. I don't want them to be taxed. So she was like, fuck this tax.
She's a great leader. I know that for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff about her. Which it's, the you get into like, I mean, I'm not gonna go too deep into this, but like you get into like the feminism thing and shit like that. There was, like I've stated a million times, there's been women throughout history that have had um significant roles.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, oh well, a woman can't be king, but this woman was an empress.
Yeah.
She was the rule maker.
Hmm.
And there's other rule maker women throughout history from the
That's right.
beginning of time. So
They rise and were above certain. I mean, it was very obvious that they could do the job. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So one day we will have a woman president. It's just we need the right woman.
For
No,
sure.
no, I'm saying, doggy
For
dog.
sure.
But anywho, so in 1830, Joseph Smith and 5 others officially organized Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, aka the Mormons, in Fayette, New York. And I do have an episode or two on Joseph Smith and the Mormons, um, from the perspective of a former Mormon, Miss Heidi Love. She's also Unfiltered Rise podcast, which you can check out if you want to learn some more dark shit about the Mormons. Which I might actually have her on again soon to talk about the Mormon Mafia.
There's a mafia.
Apparently, yeah.
The fuck.
Yeah, doggy dog.
I've never listen. No disrespect to Mormons. They're some of the nicest people out there,
Yes.
right?
Some of them, not
Some of
all
them
of
are.
them.
Some of
Just
them are
like with any other group of
right,
people.
but they have been. I don't want to say accused, but like from South Park to like, they're just the nicest people. But I looked at their history. I looked at Joseph Smith. I looked at the, let's face it, the bullshit he pushed
Yeah.
because he wanted multiple wives. You know, all that shit. And this guy is fucking ridiculous. This whole thing is fucking ridiculous. And then you look at the newest one, which is what Scientology.
Yeah, L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah, L. Ron Hubbard, great writer, great writer. He was hanging out with that
Riders
one
on the
dude,
Storm. Um,
and the whole thing was to go and make your own cult, make your own thing, and he made a religion, and
a homunculus.
it's fucking nuts, man. And
Yeah,
I'm not
dog.
saying anything about the one I came from. I came from, Catholicism. That
Right.
one's a little crazy too. If you look at the fact that
They're all
every
kind of
Sunday
crazy.
they're going and drinking the blood of Christ and eating the body of Christ. What the hell is that? I mean, I lived in it for so many years that I was like, what the, I didn't get it because you're stuck in it. You're indoctrinated into it, right?
Right.
It
Right.
doesn't. It takes a while for you to separate yourself from it and look at it again. And it's like they're having us drink the blood of Christ and eat His body. What the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
That's some, zombie bullshit. What the hell? Crazy. Very weird.
Weird. Strange.
Strange.
Strange for sure. In 1862, Battle of Shiloh, Union defeats Confederacy near Pittsburgh Landing, Tennessee.
Yeah.
And then I got in 1889, George Eastman begins selling Kodak flexible roll film for the first time.
Damn.
1889, dude.
Wow, dude.
1889.
That's really cool.
It is. 1906 is the world's first animated cartoon. It was called Humorous Phases of Funny Faces by J. Stewart Blackton. First ever animated film. 1906.
Sure, I was going to say Steamboat Willie would be the one, but apparently not.
No, dog.
That's crazy.
And then I got in 1925, first film shown on an airplane on British Airlines.
The Brits.
Yeah. Yep. 1930.
Mm,
Hostess Twinkies invented by bakery executive James Dewar. 1930 was when the frosted filled Twinkie pastry was created.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Remember not too
Uh-huh.
long ago, it kind of went away and then came back.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
kind of disappointed when it went away, but I wasn't like a
I
big
didn't. I wasn't.
twinker. I wasn't a
I
twinker.
I you are a twink.
Uh, And then they came back with chocolate ones. It's like, okay, I'm eating that. It's going in my mouth. Delicious.
I never, well, I shouldn't say never. I have had hostess like stuff,
Cupcakes or
but
whatnot.
I'm not interested in it, to be honest with you. I'm not interested in any of those.
Spongy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 1939, Great Britain and Poland signed military pact, which is why when Poland was invaded by Germany, Britain was like, "Well, we need to go. We need to go there. We made a pact."
Shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's kind of a stupid thing for Germany to do.
No, for real. Like Germany had obviously had a lot of there's a lot of people, but they're such a small country
Mhm.
comparatively to number one to us,
Oh yeah.
and they wanted to get us into the war, but we were staying out of it until Japan obviously bombed Pearl Harbor, and
Mm.
that's when we were like, all right, we need to fucking nut up and fucking shut these motherfuckers down. So we were like, our constituents were trying to um, keep us out of the war. At like our
Right.
politicians were trying to keep us out of the war, and also Churchill was also like, I don't know. There was a movie not too long ago that just came out. I think this year or last year. It has Henry Cavill and that fucking big Jack guy that plays fucking Jack in the Jack Reacher fucking series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't fucking think of his name, but he's a phenomenal actor too. Um, where they were doing espionage.
Oh
To
yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
Yeah.
they were trying to do like they were trying to show the Americans like the conspiracy for World War II to get us into the war.
Mm-hmm.
So on from their efforts and Japan bombing us, attacking us, we were like, fucking, it's time to go. So Japan, Germany, I think it was Italy, and there was a couple, like two or three other countries, I think, that were all together. So, but we shut it down, and we're still arguing about the same shit today that we were in the beginning of time, before
Yeah.
Christ and after.
I think the reason why we were so uh, against going into that war was we just did World War One 20 years before, and we're like,
We didn't go
uh,
into World War One though. We weren't a part of World War One. I thought.
oh yeah,
Were we?
yeah.
Oh,
The
okay.
we Germany would have won. I mean, they were that it was U-boat time, and they were
May
actually
so
attacking
maybe
us.
maybe Churchill got us into the World War One and not World War Two.
No, he got us into World War Two for
Okay.
sure. But the thing was, we had just gotten out of that. Like it had been almost 20 years. We, of course, we won, and Germany was suffering as a result of World War One,
Hmm.
and that's where the rise of Hitler came, is because he used I guess the suffering of Germany to like basically say, hey, you deserve this. You deserve to be, forget about the past, forget about the fact that we lost that. We're going to win this one. And they just fucking said, fuck it, Poland's ours now. Bam.
Yeah.
Even though they knew Britain was going to come in, they didn't care. They did not care. And they rolled in the Blitzkrieg, and we were like, it's not us. They're not hurting us. We're not going to waste more money going into another war. Fuck that. Yeah, those U-boats for sure.
Mm.
Um, damn. So, yeah, so we had no choice in World War One. We had to go in. They were coming
Yeah.
after us, and
Okay.
but World War Two, we tried to stay away, and Japan, like you said, we couldn't. We could not, and we were fucking brutal when we retaliated. I mean, Germany was not a problem for us. You know, we went into and defeated them. Like every strategic move we did was fucking brilliant,
Yeah.
and we
The only part that I didn't like was obviously D-Day landing on the beach
yeah.
and like opening so many Americans up to be slaughtered. Like
Oh yeah,
it was carnage, man.
yeah. I lost great uncles in that one. Two of them. My grandfather was there. He got through,
Hmm.
and he pushed all the way from France into Germany, and he was one of the first to see the concentration camps and the people in it when they abandoned those camps, the
Yeah,
Germans, and it shocked him. It shocked him
I
to
bet.
see skeletons. They were basically skeletons. He never really wanted to talk about it, but he had like German helmets and like fucking, I don't know, good like bomb looking material. He brought a lot of shit back.
Wow, that's cool. That's really cool, man.
He was damaged by that war. He
Oh, I
did not
bet.
want to travel. He just wanted to stay safe at home. I think he saw too much, you know.
They all did. They all did. I think that's a big problem even still today with men and women in the service.
Yeah. Yep.
Unfortunately. But moving on to 1975,
Yeah, yeah.
Denise Oliverson disappears from Grand Junction, Colorado, a Ted Bundy victim.
Oh shit. He was in
Uh,
Colorado,
yeah,
motherfucker.
she was in Colorado. I can't remember it what if she was the first, second, third, or whatever. It just on this day in 75 she went was the day she disappeared and then later determined to be a victim of Bundy, unfortunately. In 1994, a plane carrying Rwandan President Juvenile, dude,
Sounds good
ha,
enough to me.
Habraharamana, and Burundian President Cyprian Ntaryamira.
Yes.
I'm sorry, everybody,
Oh,
for that.
all those words.
Um,
Excellent.
so their plane was shot down by land to air missiles, sparking the Rwanda genocide. And
Jesus.
those responsible for shooting down said plane have never been identified.
Yeah, figures.
Fun fact, the USS Massachusetts, the battleship in Fall River, fired the first and last 16-inch projectile of World War II.
Wow.
Oh, thanks for that info, Joe.
Joe, the host of Tales, Trails, and Taverns, definitely check out that show. It's great. It's a great show.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic show. I enjoy it. All right, so last one that I got for you is in
Hit me.
2014. Emmy Award winning actor Mickey Rooney dies at 93.
God damn, son.
Yeah, bro.
It's an old man.
He was an old man. He was also a hobbit.
Yep.
He was a good actor. I remember one of the first movies I saw him in was it was either a Disney or a Nickelodeon movie for Halloween, where he played like a phantom. He was like, it was like sci-fi. Well, not sci-fi, but it was. I mean, yes, it was. He was supposedly like I can't remember the name of the movie, obviously, but I just remember seeing him in it for the first time, and I didn't know he was like this fantastic actor.
Oh yeah.
I just saw an old man, when I was a
Right.
kid on a Nickelodeon movie. And then to see him in, and then once I learned who he was. He's the voice of, the Christmas movies that I watched as a kid too, of Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was in Night at the Museum with Ben Stiller,
Yes.
the first and second one. and I was like, hey, that's Mickey Rooney. I know that guy.
Yeah, dude.
So
For his time, he was he was a well-known actor, a good
yeah,
actor
yeah,
for his time. Yeah,
right,
for sure.
yeah, yeah. All right, man. Let's get into our first segment of the day. Well, our first official segment. We just did a segment technically.
Yeah. It's Rachel and Heather time.
All right. So first of all, I want to say I really appreciate Rachel and Heather
Heather's awesome.
for doing this each and every week for us. It means a lot to me, and I think it's a good way to bring awareness to missing persons cases, whether they get found um, right as we're doing the segment, like last week. So Melissa Cabe was found deceased. I'm not. It doesn't seem to be foul play. It might have been by her own hand. So there's not a whole lot of actually there's
No information.
no information on
Oh shit.
how she died or anything like that.
At
It
least
just
not
said
yet, right?
right.
Okay.
But she did have a funeral on April 6th, which was yesterday, or today
Yeah.
is April 6th.
Today.
So her
Today's the
funeral's
6th.
so her funeral is today.
Wow. And a week
So
ago she was missing. So I
yeah,
mean, it sucks when there's something like that comes up, but at least there's closure for the family, right? They're gonna
yep,
know what's happening instead of that dread of not knowing. That
right,
must be horrible.
absolutely, absolutely. All right, let's get into their video for this week.
Weird Java in the morning. In the morning, Heather. Or if you want to go back and watch it whenever you want. Because, yes, it's live in the morning, but also it's just out there to the universe and readily available for all you humanoids to go back and listen. I am Rachel.
And I am Heather. And we want to get into this morning. We want to get straight into this because today we're talking about a situation more than the specifics of the missing person for us to look at. But promise, it all goes together. There is a reason, but it's a lot. A lot of this information has actually not been made public because they're keeping the identity of the child safe and secure, as well as the integrity of this open investigation. But here is what we do know.
Yep. So sometime in February, an SUV was stopped for a routine traffic stop. And inside was two older men in their 60s and a 6-year-old little girl. When the little girl was asked about who she was, she gave a name and a birthday that did not match anything in the database. Of course, they start running some info on the men in the car, and that's a whole other story. They absolutely had shit on them.
Yeah, definite shit. So one man, the driver, he had a criminal history including homicide and numerous weapons violations. And the passenger had a warrant out for his arrest for kidnapping a 6-year-old 1 month ago in another state. Quite the stand-up guys right there.
Shit on them. Once the officers were able to talk with the child a little bit more, they gained her trust. She did give her real name to them, her birthday. They were able to confirm her identity. And both men were arrested immediately. She was taken safely, and these scumbags were also taken and locked up where they need to be. So now a missing persons report was issued for this little girl. We don't know all the information, like she said earlier, but these men, like, we don't know if they had any kind of like tie-ins with this little girl, like if they knew her or if they just kidnapped her and ran. But we do know, based on the fact, like what we do know from that traffic stop, is they coerced her to give fake identity to others. And I can't even imagine what else they either did, said, put her through, those kind of things over that month that they had her.
So scary. So scary. This happened in Kansas and is just such a important and meaningful story. We wanted to bring it up because unless you've been through something like this, unless you've had to report your loved one missing, I mean, the pain is just unimaginable. The heartache is unimaginable. One day, a week, a month, a year, a decade. In this case, a little over a month, that this family feared the unknown of what could happen to their 6-year-old little girl. And this one, thankfully, ended with her being found and being reunited with her family. And yeah,
Right.
those are good things, but absolutely still something that she's going to have to spend a long time recovering from. This
Yeah.
is something that that little girl and her family, they're going to remember and going to have to live with forever. And it's really sad and heartbreaking.
These two older men, or not men, pieces of shit,
Mhm.
shit on them, who were on the run with her, they both had records. One, like, they even had a homicide on his record, right? And this is where I want to bring up the importance of this segment. You truly never know who is around you. We do these episodes to raise awareness on missing persons information and their cases, but we also just want to bring information on how to be more aware. And this may not tie into this situation particularly because we don't know all of the details on this case, but it's being held tight because it's open and everything. But if you take anything away from today, please be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of those who are near you and your family. Be aware of who you let into your home or your life. Be cautious and seriously question every single thing.
And I know it sounds like we're telling you to be paranoid. That's not what we're trying to do. We want you to live a happy life, but we are hoping that more people look around and just pay attention to the surroundings, be alert, trust your gut.
Yeah.
And hopefully this will help make sure that things like this don't happen in the future. As well as maybe if you're overly aware of your surroundings, you'll be one of the people we talk about when we say, if you say something, and you'll be alert and attentive, and you'll see a situation that doesn't sit right with you, and you'll say something, and you'll help to save someone from a situation like this little girl was going through.
Yeah, for sure. I know, so this was a bit different than our norm, but we want you guys safe, and we want your guys' loved ones safe as well. There's no quote from us today, just some advice. And I guess a threat. I'm going to give you advice and a threat. Stay awesome or else.
Yeah, for real though. And for those of you who are not staying awesome, yeah, or else. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, or else.
Be
All
good
right, you
human
guys.
beings, people.
Seriously, be alert, be a good person, and stay awesome or else. That is what you guys have from us. We will talk to you guys next week. In the meantime, have you guys tuned into every other Weird Java that has ever been created? Because if you haven't, that's on your to-do list while you're being awesome. That's part of being
Part
awesome.
of being awesome.
All right. Weird Java, Weird Java, Weird Java.
Java. No, you have to keep going in the background.
Weird Java, 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 Weird
Yeah,
Java.
did you see how that went together? That was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yo, doggy dog. That's an insane story.
Yeah.
They say people frickin' when a child is abducted, it's usually somebody they know. It's very rarely somebody that they don't know. So fuck, man. I hate stories that have to do with children.
Absolutely. Yay, April. Welcome.
All right, so I do have a true crime story for you today.
Hit me, brother.
While we're still on the low spectrum here of news with a missing persons alert of a child. We're We're going to run this. This story happened in 2009. All right, let me brighten up my screen over here real quick so I can actually read this shit. All right. In March of 2009, a handyman drove his truck through the quiet streets of the small, humble town of Grovetown, Georgia, a town that was voted that year of 2009 the safest town in Georgia. He was scheduled to meet with the homeowner at 8:30 a.m. for some needed repairs. He pulled into the driveway and jumped out of his truck, took a look around, and noticed the neighborhood still hadn't fully woken up yet. He walked around the back of the house to the back door, which is where he was instructed to go, when he noticed the window of the door was shattered. Unsure what was going on, he timidly called out for the homeowner, but no one came or responded. After a couple of minutes, he decided to call 911, as he thought, if this is a crime scene, I don't want to muddy the investigation with my DNA and my fingerprints.
Smart.
So after calling 911, the man walked back around the front towards his house when he noticed a disheveled young man sitting on a rock across the street. The man slowly approached him and asked if everything was all right. He slowly looked up at the handyman and said, "My family's house was broken into." His family house being the house next door to the house that the handyman was supposed to be at. He told the man that he called his mother to let her know, but had not called 911. And what police found would shock the small suburban town of Orchard Hills in Grovetown, Georgia.
Oh, shit.
Off that first paragraph, what are you thinking?
Yikes. But he handled it the way I would have handled it, because I watch a lot of true crime, and people get in there, they touch stuff, they go to the body or whatever, they mess up the scene. Mm-hmm. Now you look like you could have been the one who did it. So it's really, that was a smart thing to do, what he did. Appreciate that.
Yeah. All right. So Laverne Catherine Parsons, who went by Kay, was born February 11th, 1968 in Connellsville, Pennsylvania. She graduated from Laurel Highlands High School in Union, Pennsylvania in 1987 and went on to marry her high school sweetheart, David Parsons. Together, they would move into the small community of Orchard Hill in Grovetown in 2005 with their young son, Derek. 4 years later, in 2009, 41-year-old Kay, her husband David, and 12-year-old Derek were a busy, happy little family. And according to neighbors, Kay was a lovely person, a good friend, and a devoted Army wife and mother. David had a career in the military, but was now retired from active duty and owned a contracting business where he was subcontracted by the government. So with that meant that he traveled a lot and often for work, leaving his wife and son on their own fairly consistently. Kay also had a stable job as a physical therapist at a place called Healing Hands Physical Therapy. Right next door to the Parsons were a lovely couple named Rebecca, who went by Becky, and Tony Sears. Becky, who was described as a friendly, outgoing person in the community, was a mother of 5 children. Definitely not a quiet household over there. Her eldest 2 sons were from a previous relationship, while the younger 3 were shared with her husband, Tony. Becky's eldest sons were not far apart in age, but were very different people. Michael was 20 and was living at the home and was said to be a bit troubled by members of the community. He had a hard time holding down a job and had been a part of the drug scene and an on again, off again addict. Then there was Christopher, 19, with a stable job and house, and he owned a home nearby. I think they said it was like a couple blocks away. So in total, there were 4 of Becky's children living in the home at the time. One of her youngest became friends with Derek and even played baseball with him, which actually worked out because the Parsons and the Sears had actually become best friends, hanging out all the time. Both Kay and Becky often went out to dinner and grabbed drinks, like 2 friends would do. They even did Weight Watchers together, and they worked together at Healing Hands Physical Therapy. David and Tony were really good friends as well, double dates and playing tennis together. They even went on vacations together,
Wow.
both families. So with that little bit of information, what are you thinking?
Honestly, too early to tell, man.
Right, because I haven't given you much information of the crime yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I just sounds like, good family, friends, and stuff. Because I honestly, I can't imagine going with. I can't imagine going on vacations with other groups of people. It's just that would be weird for me. But unless you know them that well, I guess it's strange to me. But
Yeah.
I'm weird like that.
Yeah, I'm weird like that too, dog. All right. Let's get into it. Upon arrival, the police sergeant began looking around the home. Looking into the window, he noticed blood. An amount of blood that made him very concerned. This is the Parsons home, not the Sears home, which is where the handyman was going. The handyman was going to the Parsons home. So the sergeant would then enter the home and follow the trail of blood on the floor. He also noticed a crumpled up McDonald's bag, a spilled coffee, and a woman's handbag. He then he noticed, the house was in disarray as well. With
Struggle.
No, as like robbery kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So then he noticed a bloody handprint on the door to the garage that prompted him to pull it open. And there he would discover a woman laying in a large puddle of blood on the cold concrete floor next to the vehicle that was in said garage. They would soon identify the body as 41-year-old Kay Parsons. He quickly knelt down to check for a pulse, and amazingly, she still had one. She would then be placed on a stretcher and taken to the hospital, arriving bloodied and battered and barely clinging to life. I think the ambulance arrived at the home at 9 a.m. So this from the handyman calling around close to 8:30 to her being rushed to the hospital at 9. So this all happened within a half an hour. The police were shocked. For this quiet little neighborhood, they had 2 break-ins and 1 assault of neighboring homes. So from what they surmised is Kay woke up that morning by herself. David was away for work in California, so it was up to Kay to get their son off to school, which wasn't unusual for her. She got Derek out of bed, and he quickly ate breakfast, and off they went. After dropping Derek off to school, Kay made a stop at McDonald's, which would explain the crumpled up bag and the coffee. Because she went at McDonald's, she had gotten a coffee and a breakfast sandwich before returning home. So the state of the scene kind of looks like she came home and surprised the burglar, to which they responded by attacking her. When she was rushed to the hospital at 9 a.m., her son Derek was at school with no idea what was transpiring. Police would call David in California, unable to give him much details. David had a gut-wrenching feeling. It wasn't good. He immediately rushed home to be by his wife's side because of the scene they found at the Parsons. They turned their attention to the Sears, fearful they would find another bloody scene. The house was a mess, drawers pulled out and jewelry missing, much like the rest of the Parsons house, aside from the battered woman, prepared to find a body, but there was none. Police turned their attention to Michael, who was outside. He told police he hadn't seen anything that morning, and he had just arrived to see his house was a mess and had no idea the Parsons house had been burglarized as well. He was asked about his whereabouts that morning, to which he told police his mother had dropped him off to work before she went to her work. So they then called Becky at the Healing Hands Physical Therapy, but she had already left the office, and because she was already on her way home, because Michael had already called her to tell her that the house had been burglarized. So she arrives, and she's telling police her younger children were already at school, and Tony, who also worked for the military, like David, was also out of town. So she got there. She knows, she's aware of something happening to her best friend Kay. So she's there in tears, kind of frantic. And police are talking to her and trying to get a little bit of information. All right, I already said that. My bad. So she had several hours later, I think it's the next morning at this time.
1 second, Ken. That woman that was frantic, what was
Yep.
her name again?
Her name's Becky.
And her husband is
Tony.
And he's out of town.
And Tony's out of town, and David's out of town.
David's out of town. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're both military contractors. But different companies doing different things or something like that. I can't remember exactly. So she had showed up, to her house being a mess, her best friend being fucking rushed to the hospital, not knowing, unaware. She also has her 19-year-old son Christopher with her when she shows up. So several hours later, a unrecognizable Kay with swollen wounds and bandages would pass away due to brain hemorrhaging and loss of blood.
Shit. That sucks.
David had barely reached his wife's side before she faded away, and several of her friends were there as well. Back at the home, police found a claw hammer that was under her car. So that was the first weapon they surmised. They think that the hammer was already in hand, and when the perpetrator attacked Kay. And then they also found Derek's baseball bat covered in blood right next to her body. So this guy, woman, or whoever, the killer decided that the hammer wasn't good enough, that they would pick up the baseball bat that they saw of a young child to dispatch said child's mother. And then they noticed that the shattered glass was on the outside of both homes. So whoever broke the glass did so from inside of the houses.
What?
And their suspicions landed on Michael, suspecting he was in Kay's home and she caught him in the act, and he killed her and then staged a robbery in his own home. Michael did admit to taking methadone that morning, which is a drug for recovering addicts to feel at ease. It doesn't get you high. It just kind of calms your nerves to be like, I don't need to fucking get on drugs.
Yeah, they use
So
methadone to get off of like heroin and stuff.
Yeah. So with that information, what are your thoughts now?
Well, it sounds terrible. At first, I was thinking, is this a murder for hire? Is there a secret love going on between one of the couples. You know what I'm saying? The guy and the friend's couple woman. That's what I was thinking. But now it sounds like Mike is shady as fuck. That's what it sounds like.
Mm.
I don't want to be like Mike.
All right. Moving on in the story. Where's my fucking mouse? All right. I lost it for a second. So they start obviously they're interviewing Chris, they're interviewing Becky, and they're interviewing Michael. And Christopher would say in his interview that he is 100% sure his brother didn't do this, but they should definitely look into some of his friends. Chris had actually been with his mother that morning because Becky actually owned the Healing Hands office, like I stated previously, and needed him to do some repairs. So he didn't go to his regular job. And Becky's story was she dropped her younger 3 off to school, and then dropped Michael off to work, and then picked up Chris before heading to the office. But further investigating would reveal that Michael didn't have a job, and he was lying to both his mother and police. When they pressured him on this, he would admit to it and say that he has his mother drop him off at a work site so that she believes that he has a job. And he just goes and hangs out with his friend Anthony. Anthony told police Michael had been at his house that morning, and in fact, he left at 8:17 a.m., which would put him at his home minutes after the handyman arrived. When asked how he knows exactly what time he left, he said it was because he happened to look at the clock as Michael walked out the door. So with that, what are you thinking? Do you think
It's kind of hard to say because it is unusual for someone to know an exact time. Really, I mean, you think about that. It's kind of unusual that he knows the exact. I looked at the clock and that's when he left. But I still think Mike is guilty as fuck. Could it be Anthony? Could it be the friend?
What do you mean by this comment? You did say said car was supposed in the garage. The car was in the garage. She was laying next to it. They found her next to it. The hammer was underneath the car.
I think she was trying to get away.
Yeah, she was running. I think she was running to her car to get away. So,
here's a question I have, Kevin.
Yep.
If this dude is the one who called the cops, there had to be a significant time for him to clean up, right? He had to go. He didn't
call the cops. The handyman called the cops.
Oh, the handyman. Okay.
Yeah.
Where was he after this?
He was sitting across the street on a rock because his house was burglarized and he didn't want to be inside the house. So he called his mother.
Was there anything significant taken from the house?
Jewelry. Both houses. Both houses had missing jewelry.
Man, this is a tough one.
Yeah. So after their initial interviews, where's his name? A jailhouse snitch actually called the police. Oh, I'm sorry. Nope. It was I'm skipping way too far ahead. I apologize. So, 2 days after Kay passes away, police 911 dispatch gets a frantic call from a woman who had been shot in the leg, turning out to be Becky Sears.
Oh, fuck.
Yep. So she's leaving work, and she tells police she's leaving work, and she hears somebody yell out to her, and she turns around, and there's a large black male who then proceeds to shoot her in the leg, which happened to graze her leg. It didn't actually penetrate her leg. She falls to the ground, and he said he stated that he wanted money, and next time he comes back, if she doesn't have money, that he's going to kill her, and then disappears.
Yeah. See you later.
So
I'm leaning towards no, because why would he do? I was gonna say this could be a murder for hire. This is what I've been thinking the whole time.
yeah,
But if it's a murder for hire and he just grazes her and says, "I'll be back because I want money," doesn't make any sense that it's a murder for hire. Murder for hire, the guy will take care of the job, right? He's got a job to do. He's getting paid a lot of money. Bang bang, you're dead. Not you better have money next time I see you. So this is odd as fuck, man. So odd. Doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
Yep. So naturally, police are now like, well, what the fuck is going on here?
Exactly.
Kay's dead. Her best friend just got shot in the leg. So they ask Becky, they're like, does anybody have any reason to want to hurt you?
Yeah.
And
And
she's
she
like,
says,
not that I can think of.
Yeah.
But it would be revealed in that interview that she had been unfaithful, but she doesn't. She said, "There's no way." She's like, "It's been the affair is over. They don't talk anymore. But this person has no reason to want to hurt her or anybody else."
Does her husband know about it?
Husband doesn't know, so she doesn't want to tell investigators who said person is, because she doesn't want it to come out, and she doesn't want it to ruin things with her marriage.
Right.
So police are like, that's kind of weird, but they didn't press the issue. And they would go to the office and try to find any way to like figure out what exactly happened, but the office doesn't have any outside cameras. So they can't see anything. They don't know anything that actually happened.
Please tell me it's not Dave that she had an affair with.
So a jailhouse snitch would later call, actually the same night that, Becky had been shot. And he happened to be in jail for drugs. And he was Becky Sears' brother.
Oh.
So he told police that the man his sister had an affair with was in fact David Parsons.
Oh, bam, son. Did I get that one right?
You did. You
Yeah.
did. You did. And Kay knew about it.
Oh.
They met often in parking lots and whatnot. Sometimes in their own homes, each other's homes.
Mm-hmm.
And whatnot. So when Kay found out, David did promise, when they interviewed David, David promised Kay that it was over and that he wanted to work on their relationship and all this. So obviously that put a wrench in between her and Becky. She worked with Becky and she was good friends with her. They lived next door. So they ended up putting their house up for sale. Their house went up for a sale a week later. And David did say that he told Becky that he wasn't going to leave his wife, because if he did, she would be able to take half of his company. And he didn't want that. So, so they start they start looking into Becky a little bit more, and they did get DNA off the murder weapons, but it didn't match Becky. It didn't match David. Obviously, David was out of town.
Murder for hire, Mike.
So they would find text messages and phone calls repeatedly to one person. And the jailhouse snitch, David, Becky's brother, also would tell police that she, in fact, asked him to kill Kay several times.
Wait, go say that again. Say that again.
Becky asked her brother to kill Kay.
Oh, dude. Wow.
in further interrogations of Michael and Chris would actually end up asking for a lawyer.
Mm.
And with they would end up getting DNA results from both from Michael, Becky, Chris, David, Tony.
I think Michael's DNA was probably on the scene.
The DNA found on the murder weapon and all the text messages and phone calls from Becky to her son, Christopher.
Wow.
Christopher was, in fact, a complete mama's boy. Did everything and anything his mother told him to, which in fact, the home he owned at 19 years old was bought and paid for by his mother. So with all that evidence, they didn't even go to trial. Christopher Bowers would hide in the bushes, wait for Kay to come home from dropping Derek off to school, enter the home, kill her, ransack the house, break the glass to the door, and then proceed next door to his mother's house, ransack it, break the glass, and then his mother picked him up and they went to the office of Healing Hands. And Christopher also shot his mother in the leg to deter his. Well, how do you know Christopher's not black?
I don't. But
he's not black. He's white.
He's not. Yeah. The woman doing all that, I don't know. Sounds white to me.
That's rude as fuck. That's rude as fuck.
But a black woman buying her son a house? No. She would not raise. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You got to do it on your own, son. She took care of that guy. Like, that's helicopter parenting. That's too much. That's way too much.
Yeah. So it would be found out that David had nothing to do with it.
Oh my God!
Absolutely
you, David.
Nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It was all Becky and Chris. So
she wanted David, right?
She wanted David.
Wow. He said, "I don't want to divorce my wife because she takes half the company." Mm-hmm. So she found a solution for that. Dude, sex, money, murder.
Yep.
DNA, bro. That's terrible.
Yep. Wow. And Michael had nothing to do with it as well, which goes into that stigma of drug addicts and stuff. Like, just because he was an addict and he did show up at the scene, they were just like
convicted him myself.
Yeah, they were trying to. They actually like held him for a long time, trying to get him to admit or to confess.
The easiest.
Right.
So you said that Michael was at Chris's house, right?
No, he was at he went and hung out with his friend Anthony. And then walked home, which the walk isn't very far, but it's not close enough for him to have made it home in order to do this.
Yeah. I mean, a cop would look at him and say, "That's my man right there."
Right. Yeah. So in March, 4 years later of 2013, both Bowers and Sears pleaded guilty and are both currently serving life sentences. They decided, obviously, not to go on trial because they were definitely going to be found. Their DNA, I mean, his DNA is on the murder weapons. The text messages between her and her, like, she cried to her son Chris about the current relationship.
It's a very strange relationship.
About her love for David, and about how Kay was in the middle of it. Like, so Tony wasn't his dad. So he didn't care about Tony. So he carried it out. He confessed to cops after they were like, "We have your DNA." He's like, "Yeah, I took care of everything." That's what he said. That's what he said to the police.
Strange mother-son relationship, man. That is a bizarre. outside the lines. Not how do you ask your son to kill somebody, dude?
Mm-hmm.
And Dave is not. He's not a shining armor guy. He's not a hero. in
No,
this
no,
story.
no, no.
He made a terrible mistake, but did he really want his wife to die? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I wonder how he felt about that. His whole life is upside down now. The two people that are working in the company are gone. It's just bizarre, man. The whole thing is bizarre. There ain't no winners in this one.
Yeah. David still lives in the home. Tony fucking up and left with his kids, obviously.
How could you live there, bro?
Yeah, he's also remarried.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I hope she's haunting him.
Yeah, me too.
Come on.
And Derek is in his early 20s now and is also in the military.
Mm.
I couldn't find anything on what became of Michael. I hope he's clean and sober now.
Yeah, hopefully, yes.
And living well. So he'd close to my age at this point.
Dave must have been a good-looking guy, man. You know what I'm saying?
Let's see.
Getting all the women, no matter what.
He's
He's
bald.
He's bald. It must be.
He's
one of
bald,
good-looking
and I will
bald
say he is bald, and I will say Kay Parsons is a lot better looking than Becky.
Really? Yeah. That
Yes.
checks out. Because those less good-looking women are very conniving. I don't know what I'm saying.
With the less good-looking women are very confined.
I don't know. They need
all right, hold on. I'll let me share.
Game. I've been thinking about Ted Bundy this whole time. His murderous rampage.
Why?
He killed all these women, and then he goes to prison because he's his own lawyer and he sucks. But women want to marry him while he's in prison. What?
Yeah, that's weird.
Make no sense, bro.
That's weird as fuck. Can you see this?
Yes. Kay Parsons.
All
Is that
right.
Kay?
So that's Kay. This is Derek, and that's David right there.
All right. Yeah, I can see him. Yeah, cheating and getting married, remarried, whatnot. Look at him with hair there. I see that with the blue shirt and some hair.
Yeah. And then this is Becky and her son Chris.
Oh my God. Yikers. Good Lord. Yep, she was fighting an uphill battle there.
Yep.
God.
Yep.
David, what the
I have
fuck?
no idea what Tony looks like. There is no pictures of Tony, so maybe Tony wasn't that great looking either. Who
Man,
knows?
dude.
Who cares?
Why did you do that? Why do people do this? Why can't we rise above murder, man? Why can't we rise above
I don't
that
fucking
shit?
know.
It's
They're all
terrible.
losers. People are losers that decide to do that shit.
Damn.
But
Man.
let's get in to the next segment of the day. We gotta try and lighten shit up because that was all dark as fuck.
Yes.
Come on, bro,
Bring it
play.
on. Oh, yeah. Nice jugs.
All right, dog and dog. I got tray of stories for you.
Let me hear them. Shout out to Amanda. You're in Florida.
Story number 1. Man returns his printer to Target saying he was dissatisfied with the product. The clerk then notices that the customer who used his real name and ID to return said item forgot to remove the counterfeit bills he had printed from the printer. So he was promptly arrested, obviously.
What an idiot. What an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm not satisfied with the counterfeit bills I've been printing out. Here you go. Take it back.
Oh shit. All right, story number 2. After waiting in the ER waiting room for several hours, man was very dissatisfied with the service of said hospital and decided to steal an ambulance and drive home, leaving said ambulance in driveway of his own house.
Oh, God! So Florida. That's so Florida. Counterfeit man is out. This is the one so far.
Oh man! All right, story number 3.
Does it say why he was at the ER?
No, it didn't say.
Fucking idiot.
I agree. All right,
All
story.
he needs is a fucking crocodile on the passenger seat, and it's so Florida.
Dude, I don't even use crocodile stories. I see them all the time, and I'm like,
Yeah.
if I use this, it's gonna give it away.
I'm gonna guess it right. That's right.
But it could also be Georgia and Louisiana for alligators too. So
True.
just saying.
Very true.
So 48. Story number 3 is a 48-year-old man tries to rob a bank, unsuccessful. He flees and tries to steal a car at a nearby gas station. Store clerk calls police, and the man is easily spotted as his bank robbery disguise was a blonde wig, fake breasts, and bright yellow pants. After all the work to appear as a woman, the man never shaved his facial hair.
God damn, that's dumb. That's a tough one, man.
It's funny because when they arrested him, they're like, fucking this dude, number one, he's wearing a long blonde wig, has a beard, and it was easily like when they were chasing him down or whatever, I guess his under his shirt, the tits kind of like got unadjusted.
Let me ask you this: did he successfully steal that car?
What?
Did he?
No, he didn't. He
He
didn't
didn't.
successfully. No, which is why it was so quick to find him in a crowd of people. I guess that he ran it. It was like a downtown area.
I'm gonna have to say that one, number 3.
All right. Anybody else have a guess?
Dumbest fucking thing I've ever. I thought the ambulance thing was pretty fucking stupid.
Yeah,
It is
they're all
fucking
pretty stupid.
But why did he unsuccessfully rob a bank? I don't get it. How do you go in there with a gun? You say, "Give me the money," but somehow he didn't succeed.
I don't think he had a gun. It didn't specify what he used for the robbery, but I don't think he had a gun.
So dumb. And then he escaped that somehow. Got out of there.
Yeah.
Tried to rob a car. Tried to steal a car. Couldn't do that. And looked like a man in drag.
Yeah.
So they caught him with his big yellow pants.
Yes, his bright yellow ass pants.
Florida.
All right.
Going with number 3. Rach, what do you think? April?
If she's not here, I don't think Rachel's here anymore. I think she done left.
She don't live.
She don't like us anymore.
Rachel. What is it? Who is it, Rach? Oh my god, dude. These stories.
I don't have tits, so I have no idea how running with tits is.
Oh my god.
They don't have to be fake to get unadjusted. That's true.
April.
I guess.
Who do you think it is, Ape?
Ambulance. April's guess is the ambulance guy.
It's a good one, but
yeah,
because he leaves the ambulance at his house. So I mean, I get that.
Yeah,
but it's not that. It doesn't give you that extra. You know what I mean? Which is unadjusted tits and yellow pants, and you can't do it. You can't rob a bank, and you can't rob a car, and they catch you like that.
Mm-hmm.
It gives that extra Florida. I can taste it. Tastes like Florida.
All right. In Georgia, man would return his printer to Target with counterfeit bills inside.
Stupid.
Also very close to fucking Florida. Just saying.
Pretty close. Yeah.
Pretty close. In Florida,
Come on, man.
man was dissatisfied with his service at the hospital and decided to
Damn.
steal an ambulance.
Come on. Come
Do
on.
you want to know where the
Yes.
wig-wearing robber was? He was in
Mhm.
Pennsylvania.
What?
Yeah, dog. I'm pretty sure it was Philadelphia, too.
That's extra. That's extra. Though that's Florida extra. I think it was Florida in alternate universe. There's no way. Ambulance is too simple, dog. I'm dissatisfied. I steal ambulance. I go home. Good night. I want to know what the hell he was there for.
Me too. Me
Maybe He
too.
was losing 2 fingers or something. He was trying to get him reattached.
It must not have been that serious if he just went home instead.
Dude, let me tell you, when I went to the ER yesterday, I get there. There's like 6 people
Yep.
waiting, you know? There was no one at the counter. And so they put this thing on my finger and blah, blah, blah. And they were like, sir, you got to come right now. Go around the. I skipped all those people. And I was like, damn, I kind of felt bad.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was not dissatisfied. I was
You were a little more serious,
They're like, oh,
probably, obviously.
David from down the rabbit hole, come on back. Come on back. Don't worry about
You're MVP here.
Don't worry about those people. They're from Florida. You're a Texan.
Oh,
Yeah,
man. All right.
Get your sweet ass over here.
Yo, dog, I got some fucking movie quotes for your ass.
Hit me. Good job, April. Good job. April. Crime to burn.
Hey, man, we ain't gonna fall for no banana in the tailpipe. That's not a quote.
Oh, I was gonna say that's Beverly Hills Cop.
Yes, it is. But that's not one of the ones that Allie wrote up for us today. Hey, man, you're black. You've been hanging around with these white folks too long. We ain't gonna fall for a banana in the tailpipe. You're a brother. You should be like, hey, man, we ain't gonna fall for no banana in the tailpipe.
That's good, man. That was good.
All right. Quote number 1. I want to say something. I'm going to put it out there. If you like it, you can
Anchorman.
take it. I knew you were going to get this one.
I love that line, man. One of my favorites.
If you
Wait,
don't,
wait,
send it right back. I want to be on you.
Honestly, I've always wanted to use that line. Never had the balls.
All right. Quote number 2. How about we go get kicked out of an Applebee's?
I know this one. Talladega Nights.
Yeah, Doug. Good job. Good job. Quote number 3. Did we just become best friends?
Step Brothers.
Good job.
I'm seeing a correlation now.
Quote number 4. You sit on a throne of lies. You're a fake.
Elf.
You stink. Oh, yeah. You smell like beef and cheese. You
cheese.
don't smell like Santa.
Yeah.
All right, last quote of today is Ma, the meatloaf.
Ma, the meatloaf. Wedding Crashers.
Yep, good job.
Ooh, I hit them all this time.
You did.
Thank you, Allie. She knows I'm a Will Ferrell fan. Apparently, I'm a huge Will Ferrell fan.
Those were very easy, obviously, for you.
Yes.
Dude, I got another segment for you.
Talk to me, brother.
In fact, it is your special segment.
I'm pretty special.
I mean, I guess. Whoa,
I got a segment for you.
All right, let's Let's see what creepy ass video David sent us today.
It's for my friend.
Hey, it's David from Down the Rabbit Hole. These videos were sent to me by a very good friend of mine. I will tag her in the description. This is a doorway from her bedroom to the hallway. Now, this is going to come into play here in a second. This is the hallway in question. You're going to see another video right here. That is the doorway where the hallway is at, and this is what was caught on her camera. She thinks it's a female entity followed by a male entity, so I'm going to play it again.
The dog is also looking out the window. I mean, the
There
door.
should be no one there, and she's been having a lot of issues. And here are a few other videos.
This is further out in the same area, though. You'll see a lot
In this
more.
video, her dog is distressed by something, and then you can see all these orbs floating everywhere. In this next clip here, it's the same thing with the orbs. You're going to hear her voice trying to get her doggy back on the bed. And then you're going to hear a male voice, and that, she doesn't know whose voice that is. In this next video, there's a bizarre flashing of her nightstand light, which brings out the cat. And then this last video, you're going to see her outside camera. Something in white. What is that?
Yeah. What is up, Mr. 305? How you doing, brother?
That's
Thank you,
wild,
Ellie.
man.
Yeah, she's a good friend of mine. I've known her since the beginning of Down the Rabbit Hole, and she has some talents. She's got clairvoyant talents, and she's trying to turn that off because it's very annoying.
I can imagine.
In that hallway, I don't know if you saw the big cat thing that was at the end of the hallway. And that's where the entities were coming from. So there's like no room there for anything to be walking.
Yeah,
And so bizarre.
that is weird. That's probably one of the creepiest videos you've presented.
Yeah, she's
far.
really great. I got a little segment for you, sir. You wanna give it a shot?
Sure.
Allie, you're more than welcome to join in if you guess any of these. This is Guess the Fucking Song.
Guess the fucking song.
That's right.
So are we guessing fucking songs or
Exactly.
just fucking songs?
I tried to go easy. There's some simple ones here.
All right.
There's some old ones too. Number one, the first one starts off with blank you with a smile.
I don't fucking no idea.
Next line. And cut you like you want me to. Next line. Cut that little child. Sound familiar?
It does, but I'm
I'll sing it
blanking on the name.
Blank you with a smile. Cut you like you want me to. Cut that little child.
Oh, Smashing Pumpkins.
Yes, sir. You
I
got
can't
it.
think of the name of the
This-
song though.
The blank part is Disarm You with a Smile. That's the name of the song, Disarm. You got it.
Oh,
Good job, bro.
oh. Terrible singing voice though.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I've worked at that, believe me. Number two. Waiting like a stalking butler. Who upon
Waiting
defeater
like
rests.
a star. Tool.
Yes, sir. Sober. Good job, bro.
Yeah, see, I'm not gonna get the names of the songs. I'll get the bands now.
That's good enough for me, man. That's the way I am sometimes. Number 3. Mirrors on the ceiling, the pink champagne on ice. And she said, we're all just prisoners here of our own device.
um,
And in the master's chamber, they gathered for the feast. They stab it with their steely knives.
the Eagles, Hotel
Yeah.
California.
Yes, sir. Excellent. Yeah, you're good at this, bro. Number fucking 4. I was caught in the middle of a railroad track. I looked round. I knew that there was no turning back. My mind raced, and I thought, what could I do? And I knew there was no help. No help from you.
Nope,
No?
I got no thoughts on this one.
God, I wish I could remember how to sing it. I can't sing this because it's
got
like
no help from
really
you.
high. I was caught in the middle of a railroad track. I looked round
Bon
and I
Jovi.
knew there was no turning back. My mind raced and I thought, what
could I do? And I knew there would be no help from you.
Much better singing this. Perfect.
Turn
Turn on the stick.
The sound of the drums
Yeah, you got it.
beating in my heart. AC/DC.
Yes, sir. Good job, man. You got them all. That's Thunderstruck by AC/DC.
Thunderstruck.
I
Okay.
apologize to them for singing their song the way I did. Number 5, bro. Okay.
Amazing Grace.
No. I'm sick of you little girl and boy bands. Excuse me.
Eminem.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
That's all you do is annoy me. Yeah, so I've been
Yep.
sent here to destroy you. That's the real Slim
Yes.
Shady.
Yes, sir. I'm Slim Shady, Eminem. And there's a million of us just like me, who cuss like me, who don't give a fuck like me, who
Who
dress
walk
like
t-
me, walk,
Walk,
talk,
talk, and act like me.
and just might be the next best thing, but not
But-
quite me.
Because I'm Slim
Hell.
Shady. Yes, the real Slim Shady.
Good job, sir. Good job. I'm impressed. Hey, we got both. I got all the ones that you did, and you got all the ones that I did.
Well, you gave me extra hints on like 2 of them.
Yeah. Look at Joe knew that right off the bat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, April. You knew what it was, April. Come on.
Bam.
That
Well,
was awesome.
that was good. I like it. I likes it. I can
likes
fucks with it. All right. Well, that's all I got for you y'alls today, man. I hope you enjoyed today's show. It will be available on audio on Spotify, Apple, and a whole bunch of other podcatchers. David, do you have anything that you want to talk about before we get off? Or do you want to keep said thing a secret?
No,
for
man,
now.
let's talk about it. As a matter of fact, if you got the music, please play it. Because that
All right.
shit was tight.
I don't know if I can. I should have. I would have had to have put it on here. I think before we started recording. Give me a second. Let me see if I can bring it up. We'll try and see
Okay.
if we can play it before.
So with my boy Kevin's encouragement, I'm going to start my own podcast. It's called David Don't Know, and it's going to be about paranormal, unexplained stuff. I want to have guests on. I want to talk to people about Bigfoot. I want to talk to people about aliens, ghosts, anything that's unexplained, anything that is very interesting. The pyramids right now is a hot topic, stuff like that. And I want to tell stories that I get as a rideshare driver. I get a lot of really good paranormal stories that I would like to share. And I'm going to be starting that soon. Kevin is going to be producing it. He just came up with some music on it that is, it's beautiful.
I can't get it on here, so I'll just play it through my mic. Hopefully it comes
Okay.
through well. It might
Yeah.
be a little distorted.
Go for it,
So,
man.
all right, ready?
You're gonna like this shit.
This is your last chance.
Can you hear that?
After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to. Take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Ghosts are all around us.
Fuck yeah, man. Dude, how did you do that? That's fucking
So-
great.
I don't know. I'm just amazing, I guess.
You're just amazing. That's for
The-
goddamn sure.
Dude, I will say the song that you sent to me that you wanted me to like mirror kind of was
Yeah.
very hard to do.
I bet. Yeah. Yeah. Of course we can't use that because
Oh
it's
yeah, right.
established, right? But dude, you got close as fuck to it. That's awesome. I actually think I like this one better than the one I sent you.
Oh,
Fucking
okay.
tight, bro.
Good,
Fucking
good.
tight.
I'll make a video and put it in here in the media board, so next week we can play it and people
Mhm.
can actually hear it and get the bass out of it and stuff like
Hell
that.
yeah.
Because I'm almost sure once this goes to audio, when I put it on to the pod catcher,
Mhm.
that it's not going to sound as great. And I don't know how it sounded to everybody on here today.
Dude, I've been playing that nonstop. It's like
So-
inspirational.
So David is calling his podcast David Don't Know, by the way.
And
So-
the reason behind that is because I'm a skeptic. At the same time, I want to believe. So when you find something that's real, it's really hard to say it's real because it's unexplained. You can't actually say this is the real actual shit. So I really don't know. I can only say it's unexplained. It is good footage. I understand that this is, I can't debunk this, but I really don't know the answer. I really can't tell you. So that's where it comes from. I want to talk to a lot of people. The first episode is going to be about oh my god, Stardust Ranch. And the story behind it is an incredible story. It has a lot to do with the gray aliens,
Mm-hmm.
the small ones, and the couple that lived on this ranch.
The guy unfortunately passed away a couple years
Yeah.
ago.
From diabetes.
Yep.
So yeah, that's going to be the first episode. Look for it. It'll be coming out hopefully soon. Definitely this month. I'm hoping by the end of the month.
Yep.
And I can't lose with the music like that, dude. God damn, son. That's
It'll
good shit.
be under the Where the Weird Ones Go Productions umbrella.
Bam, like this.
I don't know what the fuck that was either.
At least I wasn't doing this. That would have been bad.
Well,
don't
Ben,
have
I look
tickets.
forward to number one, listening and editing that for you, because I'll be able to listen to it in real time while editing,
That's awesome, bro.
and putting it together for you. So
Thank you so much.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, man. I really appreciate you doing this for me. It's a big deal. I've been wanting to do this for a while. A lot of people have been asking me why, they think I already have one, which I mean, I'm on two,
Yeah.
but it's, it's not paranormal in nature. And that's what I've always wanted to do. And so, yeah, it's time. It's been past time. So thank you for helping me out. I really appreciate it, man.
Absolutely, man.
brother.
Anything for you. Anything for you. So that is the show, everybody. Go check out David and look out for his podcast, David Don't Know. Hopefully it'll be out by the end of the month, like he stated a few minutes ago.
Thank you, Ali.
And yeah, I look forward to a lot of things. A lot, with this, I look forward to doing this every week. I look forward to interviewing people for where the weird ones are. I also am looking forward to getting into investigations and doing my documentary. My cousin was supposed to help me out with both of those,
Yeah.
but he is in San Diego for the next 10 months, so I got to figure out something else. So
I gotta fly my happy ass up to Maine.
yeah,
Do some investigation.
you should
I
just
wanna do
move
that.
here
I should. Fuck yeah.
and be my neighbor.
Okay. Well, you be my neighbor. Be a lot easier to edit and do all that shit. Just hey, come on over. Here you go, Kevin. You want to go and do some investigations? Yeah. Get in the Scooby Mobile and take off.
So Mondo's asking if it's YouTube or just podcast apps. What do you want? How do you want to do this?
I want to do YouTube and podcast apps. I want to do it all.
Okay.
So anywhere you can get, I'm trying to grow my YouTube page also. So this would be an excellent way to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And Mondo, sir, you and Jen are welcome anytime, dude. I would love to have you guys on. I think the way you do investigations is just top notch. You guys are really skeptics on certain things that I appreciate because that's kind of how I lean. But I remember the Miami. Do you remember the Miami aliens on the first? Like it was like January 1st. They were the first to come out and say that's bullshit. I was like, no, I want it to be true. Let's get the video, man. But I mean, respect. Yeah. That would be nice.
If I could have a farmhouse with a bunch of land in Miami, I would do that. Probably.
Is there any farmhouses in Miami, son?
I didn't see any.
No, there's probably swamps. There's swamps.
Definitely swamps. Yeah. There's definitely swamps. Because I wanna start homesteading. So we're gonna sell this house, hopefully in the fall, and then buy a bigger house with some land and be able to farm.
Exactly. What is that?
It's everything is made by you.
Oh, so you're gonna like grow all your shit, right?
Yeah,
tomatoes and watermelons,
growing food, raising animals for food as well. So like, there's going to be meat chickens, there are going to be egg chickens, there are going to be goats for milk. We want like 1 or 2 cows.
It's a lot of milk. Get a couple of steaks out of that. Yeah, bro. I mean, I just wanted to believe that was real. Mm-hmm. I was looking at all the stuff and people were eating it up, but I was like, okay, I think Mondo and Jen are right. This isn't real. It would be nice if it was, but it's not. I'm waiting for them to land on the lawn, bro, and say, hey guys, we've been here forever, maybe eventually.
Word, doggy dog. All right. So please like, follow, share, subscribe. Leave a rating and review. If your podcatcher doesn't allow you to leave a review, please consider doing so on my website, where the weird ones are podcast.com. There you can get merch, much like this hoodie, this hat, the shirt behind me. There's other designs other than just the logo. There's also hot sauce, coffee, and supplements.
Yeah.
So check it out. Check David and his channels out. But until next time, guys, we are out of here, and I hope you have a wonderful Sunday.
Later, guys.
Later, motherfucking Gators.
Hey, man, that was great, bro. That was great.